What's going on, everybody? It's Key Time coming back with another video to talk about the NBA playoffs over the weekend. There was a lot of games that happened over the weekend, and there is a lot to get into today, and I am going to get into it. But first, happy Monday, everybody. Hope everybody had a great and safe weekend. Shout out to all the mothers because this was Mother's Day weekend. So shout out to all the mothers, grandmothers, great grandmothers. Shout out to all of them. And now, today it is Monday. So happy Monday to everybody. Now it's time for me to get into these playoff games. So first game I want to talk about is the Dallas Mavericks and Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, Saturday, Game 3 was in Dallas. Both of these teams, the series was tied after 2. And then, Game 3, it was tight throughout. Now, with Dallas having the home court advantage and having the upper hand on the young Oklahoma City Thunder, what will they do tonight in Game 4? Because Oklahoma City, I've said this all season, they are one of the youngest, if not the youngest team in the NBA right now. Their average age is 24. The average age is 24 on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And now, since you've got an experienced ball club in the Dallas Mavericks, who have been to the conference semifinals. Just 2 years ago, they was in the conference semifinals versus the Golden State Warriors and lost. Now they are back in the conference semifinals, up 2-1. And they have Game 4 tonight. So, I'm going to go down a list of what the Mavericks did. You had P.J. Washington, Kyrie Irving, and Luka Doncic each scored over 20 points. And you had Derek Levy, their bench player, give you 12 points. So, one other thing. What I see with the Dallas Mavericks is there are a few more players on this list that needs to step up their game, not just for tonight's game, but for the rest of the series. Daniel Guilford, he only had 8 points in Game 3. Derrick Jones Jr., he only had 3 points in Game 3. Now, when it comes to those two players, and not to mention Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr., before he got to the Dallas Mavericks, was a legit 20 to 25 point scorer. Now, since he's coming off the bench, he's only averaging 15 points. If he could give you 15, I'm going to say 15, 6, and 7, Dallas will be able to win. But he doesn't have that much playing time because in the playoffs, your bench production shrinks. You're playing your starting 5 for most of the game, like 35, 40 minutes. And then your bench players are only getting like maybe 5, 6 minutes at best. So, as far as for this series, Game 4 is tonight. I picked Dallas to win this in 6. If they win tonight, if Dallas wins tonight, then the season is on the line for the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. It really is, because you don't want to go back home. You don't want to go back home down 3-0. Down 3-1 because Oklahoma won the first game. You don't want to go back home down 3-1. So, that's all I got for that series. The next series I want to talk about is the Boston Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers. Over the weekend, Saturday night, the Celtics took a 2-1 series lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, where the Cleveland Cavaliers went wrong at was Donovan Mitchell. I believe he is just a one-man show in Cleveland. Outside of him, Darius Garland and Caris LeVert had 15 points. And Evan Mobley had 17. But when it comes to all four of those players, they were in double figures. But somebody else has got to pick up the load. And they failed to do so. Max Strus only had 6 points. Isaac Okoro had 2 points. I mean, Cavaliers, they have got to have more bench production if they want to win this series. But as I said, and not to mention the Boston Celtics, they had hot shooting from the three-point line. They were 13 out of 34. The Celtics also out-rebounded the Cavaliers by 11. And on the offensive rebound category by 2, and on the defensive category rebound by 7. Also, what hurt the Cavaliers was turnovers. Now, they had less turnovers than the Celtics. To be exact, the Celtics had 11 and the Cavaliers had 8. So now, game 4 is tonight. The Celtics can really take control of this series if they win tonight. Now, as far as tonight for the Cavaliers, their season is on the line. Because if you go down 3-1, you are not going to be able to win 3 straight against this Boston Celtics team. Even though that they can have 1 or 2 off games, if not more. But I don't see them losing this game. So, Boston, congratulations, winning game 3. Possibility you may win game 4 tonight. And I do believe that the Celtics will win game 4 tonight and finish this series out Wednesday at home. And they'll be getting ready for the Eastern Conference Finals. The next series I want to talk about is the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. I looked at game 4 yesterday. The New York Knicks couldn't buy a bucket in the first 7 minutes. The first 7 minutes of this game, I looked and I seen where it was 34-11 Indiana. Now, when I seen that, I said, I'm like, this game is over and the reason why I knew that the game was over that early into the game, because the New York Knicks, they don't have much bench production as it is. They really don't, because outside of their starting lineup, you're playing Jalen Brunson 45, 46 minutes. You're playing Josh Hart the entire game at 48 minutes. And Dante DiVincenzo, he's a bench player. You had to bring him off the bench, put him into the starting lineup, and he has played an average since the playoffs started 30 minutes or more. So as far as the New York Knicks, they are between a rock and a hard place right now. You got 2 of the next 3 in this series you got at home. The New York Knicks are at a crossroads right now. They are shorthanded. Julius Randle is out. OG Anunoby is out. And those are their two best scorers that are outside of Jalen Brunson. As far as the Pacers, they had a good game, but they really didn't have to have all of their best players in the game for the entire game, because after the third quarter, the Pacers were up by 30. And then after midway in the fourth quarter, they took their starters out and put their bench players in. So Tyrese Halliburton had 20 points. Miles Turner had 13 points. Pascal Siakam had 14 points. Not to mention Two players from the bench had 14 and 15 respectively. TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin had 14 points. So now, with this series being even, two of the next three in Madison Square Garden, the Mecca, can the New York Knicks somehow pull through and win this series? I believe so, but I am very skeptical. I really am, because for them to win this series, Jalen Brunson, he's gonna have to stay. He's gonna have to play the entire game, and you already have Josh Hart playing the entirety of the game, because he said that in the press conference. Josh Hart said that he played 48 minutes, so he's playing every second of every game. Game 5 is Tuesday. We will see if the New York Knicks are able to bounce back and take back control of this series. We will see. The next series I want to talk about is the Boston Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 4 is tonight. As far as for Game 4 tonight, Boston, they'll win this game. I can see it, because one thing about the Cavaliers is they have too many shooting droughts. They really do. Like, in their game Saturday, they had 4 shooting droughts in the game that lasted 4 or 5 minutes. And when you can't score in a 4 or 5 minute time frame, you'll be blown out. So the Cavaliers, their lack of being able to score productively and consistently will get them beat in this series, and it's going to get them beat tonight. Because one thing, the Celtics, we all know that the Celtics are the better team. We all know that the Celtics have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench, putting up 3 after 3 after 3, and also Derek White, who can also give you 18 to 24 points on any given night. I got the Celtics winning this game tonight. So Cleveland, they won't be able to bounce back. Cleveland, they are a one-man show. Donovan Mitchell, he is the only one that is able to wheel this train and keep it afloat. But outside of him, there's nobody else that can take over the game on the offensive side of the court for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that's why I'm going with the Boston Celtics in tonight's game. And for my final thoughts before I get out of here is Game 4 tonight. Also, Oklahoma City Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. Game 4 is tonight at 9:30. 9:30. Set your clocks for 9:30, people. So, Dallas, they have the upper hand in this series. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they are a young team, haven't faced adversity. This is them facing adversity for the first time with this group in the playoffs, because let's be honest, last series they didn't face any type of adversity. They kept the New Orleans Pelicans under 100 points every game. Now, since you got a three-headed monster with the Dallas Mavericks, you know you're going to get Luka and Kyrie. Now you got P.J. Washington. P.J. Washington, in the last 2 games, he has put up over 50 points. Over 50 points. Not to mention, Game 3, he had 27. I believe P.J. Washington, he will have another game like this tonight, along with other players like Tim Hardaway Jr. and Derrick Jones Jr. having a great game tonight. So, I predicted Dallas would win this series in 6 games, and I'm going to still keep that prediction because experience means something. In everything you do, you need to have experience. Now, OKC, they are gaining experience every playoff game and series that they go through deeper and deeper in the playoffs. We are going to see what the Oklahoma City Thunder are made of. I said this before the playoffs start. With OKC being the number 1 seed and with them having a young team, they are going to have adversity in these playoffs, and we are going to see if they are able to produce in those adverse times. And tonight is an adverse time, and we are going to see if they can produce. I think that they'll be able to produce, but I think that with Dallas gaining momentum after game 3, I believe that they are going to take this momentum into game 4 and have a good game. I expect Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic to score at least 25 points, both of them 25 points respectively. And I also expect more bench production from the Dallas Mavericks. And with that, those are my reactions and thoughts from the weekend in the NBA playoffs. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the notification bell to get notified of my shows, reaction videos, and other content. And remember, the last thing I always say, remember, the key is always on time.